Good morning, or good afternoon, I guess I should say. We are going to start on our chicken soup. This is your caldo de pollo. Very simple, very much similar to the beef soup I made the other day, which was the caldo de res. And yeah, so we're going to start on it. It's a perfect day for it. It's rainy and chilly, and we're actually expecting some thunderstorms to roll in. So I wanted to start it a little bit earlier, just in case you guys couldn't hear me, or if we lost power or something like that, because it's been known to happen. But we are going to use some chicken drumsticks. I think I'm only going to use half of this pack, and then we might just reserve the rest for a meal later on. Yeah, so we're gonna take about, let's see, 2, 4, 6, we'll take about 8 drumsticks, and we're going to place them in a pot. I am going to rinse and dry off the drumsticks first. So yeah, we'll do that, and then I'll be right back. We have our chicken drumsticks in the pot, and I am adding about 4 cups of water to these just initially, because we are going to cook our chicken first. If you wanted to do this with a chicken breast, you could. I prefer to do the soup with like a thigh or a drumstick, traditionally a drumstick, just because the bone gives it a better flavor, and you're going to actually be making your own bone broth. So that is what we have. We have the 8 drumsticks with about 4 cups of water in just a, stock pot here, okay? And then I'm going to go through, I have about a whole head of garlic, right? And I will use my garlic press and press that in there and throw that in as well. And then I'm going to add in my celery stalks that are cleaned. I got to cut those up. And then I am going to add a half of red onion and just season the hell out of the broth. But first, let's go ahead and crunch up our garlic. This garlic press is everything. You guys totally need one if you don't have one. I hate dicing garlic. So you just put it in there. You press down this little cruncher. I don't know what it's called. You guys can see. And then you're just going to, I'm trying to do this with my left hand. So, and then you just press it, and then that comes out. So we're going to do that with all of them, and then I will cut up the celery stalks, and I'll be right back. All right, so I have my clean. Make sure you clean these celery really well, because they are usually just covered in dirt. I leave the celery chunked up pretty big, just so if Leo doesn't like it, so he can pick it out of his soup. We're gonna toss that into our bowl, or into our pot. And then we're gonna go in with our onion. I'm using red, you can use yellow, you can use whatever you want. This is just my preference. As far as the veggies go, we are using a ton of different kinds. You could add more, you could add less. You can pick and choose. You necessarily don't have to use the same variety I am. So when I'm cutting my onion, I'm just cutting them in slivers, because I like to get a bite of these in my soup. If you wanted them, like my mom, when she cuts her onion for her soup, she like dices them. But I like to kind of have like the ring of them, because I feel like the onions get a really good flavor in the broth. So we're going to do about a half of that half. So here is our pot. We just have the chicken, the celery, the head of garlic, and the onion, okay? And about 4 cups of water. We're going to turn that on to a medium heat, because we're going to want to cook these probably 45 minutes or so, all right? We want to cook them for a good amount of time, and then the soup should probably take you about an hour, hour and a half, close to 2 hours, if you're doing it low and slow like I do. You could definitely do this in the Instapot, but whatever you want to do. We're going to go in with some pure sea salt. Again, as I stated before, a lot of these traditional Hispanic soups aren't overly seasoned. They're very much just to enhance the flavor of the vegetables and stuff. So all we're doing is giving it a good toss of some salt, and we're going to throw in some black pepper, and that's it. I just want to make sure everything, all that salt gets into the water. Again, this is going to be a bone broth, so this whole pot, when we get ready to add in the rest of our stuff, will be used. Just because this is really good stuff. People pay a lot of money for chicken bone broth, you know what I mean? And then I'm gonna add a few cracks of black pepper, and then we're gonna let this simmer and start to cook down. So that's step one of our caldo de pollo, so our chicken soup. I want to show you guys the veggies I'm using. I'm going to use these carrot chips. If you guys wanted to do like the regular carrots and just dice them, you can do that as well. I got some red potatoes. I'm going to clean these really well and then just dice them and leave the skin on so I know not to eat them. But I got these for my family because they really enjoy potatoes in their soup. I got some Mexican zucchini squash. They don't look the best right now, but they're good. You can use whatever squash or zucchini you have. Again, we're coming in with the chayote. We're going to use those. We will leave the skin on for this, but we will take the seed out. I'm going to cut up a couple jalapenos, probably just one because we don't need all that spice. And then I have some frozen corn I'm going to toss in there as well. So if you wanted to add broccoli, spinach, cabbage, whatever you have, you know, you can literally, these are one of those soups where you can toss in the whole kitchen sink. And you guys know I've been really loving fresh vegetables lately. And these have been just, you know, tasting so good for me and my family. So we're definitely going to be, we definitely have been eating like two. We definitely have been liking eating more fresh. So yeah, so I've been really enjoying this. And again, with this broth, you're literally making homemade bone broth. This is homemade chicken bone broth because, you know, you're going to get the flavor from the chicken drumsticks and then it's still boned in. So it's good stuff, okay? All the good fixins around here, and it's perfect weather for this. I should take you guys out and let me show you what fall in Chicago looks like right now. So let's do that. Let me go out there and show you guys. So it is like drizzling right now, but our leaves are already starting to change color. So these are turning like a beautiful red. This is my neighbor's, but I wanted to show you guys, the trees are losing leaves. They're turning yellow. And everything is just looking so pretty. You can see it's just like that cold rain right now, the cold drizzle rain, but we are loving it. It looks so pretty. Let me see if I can get you guys down the block here. Yeah, you can definitely see it. It's cold and chilly and rainy and perfect for a hot batch of soup. All right, so this is about 35 minutes or so in. And the house is smelling so good. Even the kids are coming out and they're like, Mom, what are you cooking? And you're like, yep. It's gonna still be a while, okay? So don't get ahead of yourself, but we're looking good. We got that slow simmer going and that's what we kind of want to do with it, but I just wanted to show you. But doesn't it smell goodly? Mm-hmm. Smells real nice. I'm probably gonna toss just some more black pepper in there, but we're looking good. The thing is about these soups is it just takes time, and honestly, you could do this in the Instapot. You could. Maybe I will if you guys are interested in seeing some more like soup recreations and Instapots. We can do that. But this is the way that like I have watched my mother-in-law do it, and I feel like her food always tastes best, and she would always say because you gotta take your time, you know. So, but anyways, that's why. So a little bit more black pepper, and we're just gonna let this keep simmering. Okay, so we are still cooking down the chicken. This has been cooking for probably a good 35 minutes, and I'm gonna let it go for probably another 20 or so. Sorry, Becky's playing on her game there. But I wanted to add in the carrots. I like the carrots to be almost like mushy. If you like for them to have a little bit crunch, you could skip this step. But I just added in about a half a bag of those carrots. Okay, I didn't add in, she can't hear, she has her headphones in. So I didn't add in like the whole bag, just about a half a bag. So, and why I was doing that, you guys know I went through and I prepped. So these are gonna go in first, in the first batch, probably for the first, 20-30 minutes, because the potatoes and the chayote are gonna take a little bit to cook down. And then probably for the last like 10-15 minutes, about 15 minutes, I'll throw in the zucchini, just because these cook very quickly and they can turn to mush, and I hate when that happens. I like for them to have a little bit of bite, and it gets sloppy. So yeah, and then we're gonna add in our jalapeno too. So, and we're gonna add in some fresh lime juice. Guys, you are gonna eat so good. You're gonna love everything about this meal. All right, so you guys can see that the chicken's starting to shrink and it's starting to turn like a yellow color. So not done, but we're able to start adding in some of our vegetables. First, I'm gonna add in the vegetables before the water gets too high and then I like burn myself. So we're gonna add in the potatoes and the chayote. Okay. And we got some fresh jalapeno. Toss that in. So that's gonna go in there. So now we're gonna add in some more water. About 3 cups. Okay. And then you could see the color of the broth. So the chicken's doing its job. And now we're just gonna let this simmer as well, okay? I'm gonna go in with a couple things of corn. I'm not adding a lot of corn just because not many of us eat it. It's just for really Rhea and Leo and Becky. And that's it. We like for our soups to be super duper hearty. Don't forget that when these start to cook down, the potatoes and the chayote, they are gonna shrink a little bit too, and they're gonna give off some water. So this will be fine. These are frozen, and you're just gonna go ahead and leave this alone and let this simmer. But look at how beautiful with the bright colors of all the veggies. We got our chicken in there, and just let it cook down and do its thing. I wanted to give you guys like another close up here. So again, we do not eat those potatoes. That's why we left the skin on, so we can tell who's who in the party pot. So perfect. It smells so good, and you could totally see how good that broth is looking. We will season it a little bit more, but I want everything to cook down right now for a little bit longer. So I added in the zucchini. I did not use all of the stuff I cut up because just the pot's getting pretty full. It's getting pretty full, but oh my god, it looks so good. The kids keep coming out here and they're like, is it ready yet? Is it ready yet? That's when you know it's good, right? When they're coming out here inquiring about it because they only get the free smells. So you could see there's just the carrots, the potatoes, everything. It still has some time to go, but I wanted to just add in those zucchini. And what we're going to add in next is 1 lime. I'm just going to go ahead and use this. What the hell? Oh, it's the guy's car braking. All right, we're going to go ahead and add in 1 lime. I'm going to use one of these little handy dandy squeezers because, fun fact, if you go to squeeze lime, there's going to be a million cuts on your fingers that you didn't know existed until you squeeze said lime. Then we're going to go in with a little bit more salt. Make sure we season that up. And give it a nice stir. Don't forget we got those jalapenos in there. Oh my god. I have to be careful not to cover my hand up. I guess I've been covering my hand on the microphone for this camera. So if you guys ever hear me go in and out, that's the reason why. I'm trying to be more mindful of that. So what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to add in, just cover this up and throw it on low and let it simmer for about another 30 minutes or so. And we are almost there, my friends. So I do want to remind you guys to get some fresh cilantro, but Leo has been doing this. He just dampens a paper towel, just very little. And when we get our like, huh? Dry. Oh, it's dry? Oh, my bad. Anyways, he just wraps the like fresh like herbs in the paper towel, and that's how we store them in the fridge, and they stay pretty fresh because they absorb the moisture. So I just have a little bunch here, and I'm just going to like rough chop these just to add as garnish. But I wanted to, fresh is always better. I know you can get dry, but fresh cilantro just hits differently. All right, how I cut up my cilantro is I'll kind of put it all together and I like roll it all up, right? And just keep rolling until you get it in like a little ball, and then you just chop that way. I'm not like mincing it or anything, just a rough chop. This weather's really picking up out here. So, I don't know if you guys can see, but it is really getting kind of crazy out here. I'm like standing in my kitchen window like some nosy old neighbor, but the wind is picking up and the rain is still coming down, and it is just perfect all day, my friends. All right, I did want to quickly mention Equip is having another flash sale. They went ahead and sent out an email this morning, and I want to let you guys know they're offering that 30% off of all the Equip products. So if you guys were interested in getting your hands on some of their supplements, these are the ones that me and Leo take. Well, Leo takes the cinnamon. I do the joint support, the real omegas, the beef liver, and the immunity support. So if you guys were interested, and they also have their protein and their pre-workout. So the pre-workout wasn't, you know, it didn't really work out for me, but a lot of people really do like it. But anyways, I'll leave a link down below if you guys want to get your hands on some of this. It is a flash sale, so now is the time to stock up if you needed to. So we still have, you know, probably another, I would say 15 minutes or so left in the cooking, but the chicken's done. You could tell that because it's starting to rise because it's, you know, cooked. We're really waiting just for the zucchini to soften and the rest of the veggies to soften. So it's going to be a little bit longer, but as far as seasoning goes, I just season to taste. So I just added some salt and some fresh cracked pepper, and that's it. If you wanted to add a bay leaf, you can do that as well. I'm not a fan of bay leaves. I mean, my mom swears by them. I believe Leo's mom swears by them. I don't think they do much, but maybe you have to get the real good fresh ones. I don't think I've ever gotten like a really good fresh one. But yeah, so look at how, I mean, this is a big old pot of soup, guys. This is gonna probably feed you guys. This will be awesome for like a meal prep, because you could have it, you know, for lunch throughout the week or something like that. But I love, this is the only way, honestly, my family will eat it and be full. Leo is not big on, like, I'm like a soup person. I love soups, but Leo is not. Like, he's just like, okay. So in order for him to like eat it, I have to like really kick it up with the protein, and he doesn't like shredded chicken. He thinks it's dry, and it has to be like almost like a stew. It has to be really hearty in there so he can like get a fill, you know what I mean? But he likes when I kind of bulk him up like this. I probably should invest in like a bigger pot one day.
We have one downstairs.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Here's the thing though, okay? I just want to know if I'm the only one. I know how to cook in this pot. I know how to season in this pot. I don't know that, you know, I know that it takes, you know, 4 tablespoons of this and that. So like I'm literally like that old lady. My mom does that too, like where she can't tell you how to make stuff because she knows how to measure for her pot. So I need to get out of that habit. But yeah, maybe next time I'll bring up the big pot. Maybe, you know what, the next soup I want to do for you guys, if you're interested, leave me a comment down below. A lot of you guys were really intrigued by the shrimp soup my mother-in-law made, so we can do that, but I probably will do just a lot of seafood in there. So if you guys wanted to see that on the next one, leave a comment down below. Leave like a little shrimp, leave a little shrimp emoji, and if you guys are here for the shrimp soup. So this is about done. I want to show you how I test to make sure it's done, okay? I always go for the chicken has been cooking for over an hour, so we know that's finished. It's the potatoes, so the potatoes and then also the chayote. So I just kind of take a knife and I run it through, and if it slices through like butter like that, then it's done. So traditionally, you could also heat up some tortillas. If you have low-carb tortillas, I asked Leo if he wanted them, and he said he didn't. So usually I have those just to dip. But I also got the girls crackers, so they're going to have crackers with their soup. But this is it. We're going to bowl it up. But I want to show you also how I do that, because it can get a little messy. All right, so I go in. I just grab some flippers here, and I'll take some of the bigger pieces. So we'll take piece of chicken, a thing of corn, and then that should be good. And then I'll go in with my ladle, and then I start grabbing everything else, okay? Like I told you guys before, the only way I really get these people around here to eat the soup is if I make it really, really hearty. Let me know down below too. Is your family like a hearty soup eater? And then I go through and I will sprinkle some fresh cilantro. And here is our big old bowl of soup. So here is our soup all plated up. Again, this is going to be for Leo, so I don't usually, if it's for me, I like a lot more broth, but Leo doesn't. He likes just the meat and potatoes of it all. But again, we have that fresh cilantro, we have a wedge of lime, and there you go. I hope you guys like this recipe and try it out. If you guys do, please let me know, and I will check in with you guys on the next one. Take it easy, friends. So we got the family. Perfect day, right guys? Mm-hmm. What do you think, Soph?
It's good.
It's good? What do you think, Ray?
It's really good.
So, it does have a little bit of a kick because of the jalapeno, but not overly spicy. It just gives it a nice warmth. So, perfect for a cool fall day. This is my bowl. So, but hopefully, again, sorry, just wanted to add this in. Love you guys. See you in the next one.